Super Kids. Welcome to this class with Mr. Higye. In this class, you will be learning about rate as another way of expressing the relationship between two quantities. Alright? Now, first, we are going to look at the meaning of rate. Alright? What is rate? Well, rate can be defined as a change in one quantity that produces a unit change in another. The word per or a slash is normally used to show this relationship. Alright? For example, 20 km per hour. Alright? So this is one way of showing the relationship between distance and time. Kilometer per hour. So what does it mean? 20 km per hour. Yes, 20 km per hour means a moving object is able to cover a distance of 20 km in 1 hour. So that is normally referred to as speed. One example of rate. So this means speed is a rate that shows the relationship between distance and time. Now let's look at types of rate. We can differentiate between 3 types of rate, and then a fourth one we normally refer to as speed, which is an example of uniform rate. Alright, so we have 3 main types of rate: uniform rate, variable rates, and average rate. Alright, now we are going to analyze these different rates one at a time. Alright, so and we are going to start with the first one, which is the uniform rate. I want you to know that uniform rate is also called unit rate. Alright, so uniform rate can also be called what? Unit rate. Now let's look at the meaning of uniform rate. This means a constant change in one quantity per unit change in another. Alright, let's look at some examples. The relationship between distance and time. For example, mile per hour or kilometer per hour using the speedometer. Alright, then the heartbeat also. The number of beats per minute, BPM, is also called uniform rate. So we have other examples, okay, as displayed on the screen. Alright, now let's learn about how to convert rates to uniform rate. Alright, for example, a distance runner travels 16 miles in 2 hours. Alright, when we convert this to unit rates, we are going to have 8 miles per hour. We will look at this one after the other. Now let's take one more example. There are 108 students in 4 mathematics classes. Alright, that is 27 students per class or in one class. Now we are going to look at this one after the other. First, the runner, 16 miles in 2 hours. Dividing the top and bottom by 2, we have 8 miles over 1 hour. So, in the second example, 108 students over 4 classes is 27 students over 1 class. That is 27 per class. Now, let's take this last example. Josie can type 237 words in 3 minutes. How many words can he type per minute? The same way we try to divide the number by 3. And what do we get? Well, When you divide properly, you are going to get 79. So 79 words in 1 minute. So a better way of writing it is to say 79 words per minute. Alright, 79 words per minute. Now let's look at variable rate. This is a change of one quantity per unit of the other that is not constant. That is always changing. Alright, okay, let's look at one example. A taxi driver charges 15 naira for first kilometer and 10 naira per kilometer for the rest of the journey. How much will a passenger pay for a journey of 13 kilometers? Alright, let's look at the solution to this problem. First, it means 1 kilometer and it costs 15 naira. Then for the rest of the journey, which is 12 kilometers, he pays 10 naira times 12. Yes, because 1 kilometer is 10 naira. So it's going to be 10 naira times 12. That is what? 120 naira. 120 naira for the rest of the journey. Now to get the total amount he pays, we must add up the money he paid for the first kilometer and the money for the rest journey, and that gives us 135 naira. Alright, that is 15 naira plus 120 naira. That gives us 135 naira. Now let's look at another type of rate. This time we are going to be looking at average rate. What is average rate? This is a rate that can what? Replace a list of other rates by size when they are what? Related or together. This one rate is called the average of the other rates. This table is a weekly sales of workbooks in a school bookshop. Now let's find the average rate of workbook sale for the week. Now the first thing we are going to look at is the formula for finding average rate. It is sum of individual rates divided by the number of rates. So first, the sum of individual rates, if they are added, gives 140. Alright, 140 workbooks. The number of rates can be compared to the number of days, which is 7 days. Alright, and then we find it by simply dividing. Alright, so we have 140 workbooks over what? 7 days. When we divide both sides by 7, we are going to have 20 workbooks per 1 day, or 20 workbooks per day. Now let's look at speed, distance and time. Now look at the speed, distance and time triangle. The distance D is on top, S and T, which is for speed and time, is under. It gives a proper way of remembering the formula. Alright, to find distance, for example, is simply speed times time, as you can see from the triangle. So it's very easy to remember. To find speed, which is S, alright, so it's going to be the distance that is on top over the time below. So distance over time is speed. And finally, to get time, we have time is equals to what? Distance over speed. You can say the distance on top and the speed under. Now let's talk about finding distance. Alright, to find distance, we must make use of the formula for finding distance. Look at this example. A car travels at a speed of 100 kilometers for 4 hours. How far does it go? That is distance. Distance, as usual, is speed times time. 100 times 4 hours. That gives us 400 kilometers. Alright. Okay. Let's find speed. How do we find speed? So let's make use of the formula for finding speed from the triangle. Now, first of all, the question says, a train travels a distance of 1,500 kilometers in 3 hours. How fast is this train traveling? Again, the formula is distance over time. That is 1,500 kilometers over what? 3 hours. When we divide the numerator by the denominator, we get 500 kilometers per hour. That is the speed. Alright. Finally, let's find time. Again, from the triangle, we can get the formula. A snail moves 80 millimeters at a speed of 10 millimeters per second. How long does it take to do this? Time is distance over speed. That is 80 over 10. Alright, so we get 8 seconds. Thank you for watching. See you in the next class. Bye.